It's Friday, September 26, 2025. I'm going to get right into the video today. A lot to talk about. It is amazing how fast the news is accelerating. This stuff is changing by the minute. Really quick, I want to go over gold and silver. Gold, as I make this video, is up over $37. We are now $3,792 an ounce. Silver up $1.37 as I make this video, $46.69 for an ounce of silver. It is very possible that silver hits or breaks its all-time record high next week, maybe in a couple weeks. The way it's moving, it's unbelievable. It seems like every day now it's going up 50 cents or a dollar. So it'd be very interesting to see what it does next week. I would, if you're interested, if you're thinking about buying this stuff, I would just start buying it, because I think, as Peter Schiff said, you're going to be buying this stuff at all-time highs now. But that's okay, because it's going to another all-time high. And if you buy at that all-time high, that's okay, because it's going to go to another all-time high. This is where we're at now. And this is why, for 8 years or however long I've been making these videos, I thought it was very important to be adding this to your portfolio. And I want to talk a little bit today of why people should own gold and silver. It is a insurance policy for your wealth. It is wealth protection. I never bought gold and silver to get rich. I bought it to protect myself and wealth against inflation, against hackers, taxation, and having money traced. I think it's unhackable, untrackable, untaxable when you break it down. It's extremely liquid. It is money out of the system. It is God's money, and you can go anywhere in the world and this money is easily converted to any currency. It is extremely liquid. These are two of the most undervalued assets as of today, still the most undervalued assets on planet Earth. And I know there's people out there, somebody wrote yesterday, gold and silver is not going to save you. Maybe it's not. I'll take my chances. You can take your chances without having any. You can keep as many dollars as you want. I think that's good to have some dollars. I'd much rather have gold and silver at this point. From what I'm seeing right now, what's happening with the US dollar, what's happening with inflation, you must be holding real assets. But these people out there that, they're almost angered that you have some gold and silver. They're angered that you're prepared. Nothing's going to protect you. Well, I'll take my chances taking preparations, food, water, gold, silver, security, tactics, training, all that. If you think it's a better strategy to do absolutely nothing, to have no gold, no silver, no cash, no training, no security, nothing, God bless you. I wish you the best of luck. If you want to take that route, that's your strategy, to do absolutely nothing, I think you're a really ignorant person. I wish you the best of luck. But what a dumb thing to say, that that bad things are happening right now and bad things are coming, and your advice is to do absolutely nothing. Don't store any food. Don't have any gold or silver. Don't have any capital built up. Don't do anything. Just hope for the best. Terrible strategy, ladies and gentlemen. I hope every one of you watching this today does the complete opposite. San Francisco. Now let's talk about why. I'm going to talk about why I'm buying gold and silver, why I've been buying it for 12 years. San Francisco giant Veritas defaults on $652 million debt. 66 buildings now face foreclosure. They own thousands of housing units on the West Coast. This is San Francisco's largest landlord. The 66 buildings house 1,566 units. This could go into foreclosure within 90 days. So is this a good sign for the U.S. economy? It is an indication that things are not good. San Francisco was one of the most sought after real estate markets, maybe even in the world, the country at least, or the world. Some of the most wealthiest real estate in the world in San Francisco. And now you have Veritas defaulting on $652 million of debt. Here's another one. Where's the prosperity? Middle-class Americans aren't feeling it. They're very spooked by the economy. They're very concerned. Comment down below if you're middle class. Are you concerned about the economy? I am. And this is another reason why I purchased gold and silver over the years and why I will continue to add to my reserves. These are all reasons when I'm reading this stuff, when I'm watching the news and I'm seeing what's happening financially just right here in America and across the globe. It is a reminder of why I bought gold and silver 12 years ago, because things were never fixed from 2008. 2008 was a wake-up call, but I would probably say about 2013 is when I had a real wake-up and beginning to see what was happening, that we were being lied to and that things were much worse than we were being told. Auto industry is flashing a warning sign on U.S. economy. Profits, they say, are being squeezed by tariffs. Tricolor, the company that loaned to subprime borrowers, poor people, they've collapsed. Average new car around $50,000. Who can afford this? And then we go on to Carmax. Carmax stock crashed yesterday, down 20%. Right now, today, it's flat. At one time, this thing was loved by everybody, not now. Again, stock down 20% yesterday, flat today. Here's some of the problems Carmax is having. Declining sales and risk of loan payment delinquencies. People not making the payments. Each month in the quarter was worse than the prior. You drive by a Carmax today, I don't care where you live, the lot is full. Every Carmax I drove cross country, and I've driven cross country twice now in the last few months, the lots are full. They cannot sell cars. Daily Mail, struggling Starbucks plots hundreds of store closures and lays off 900 workers. This is the second mass layoff this year for Starbucks. So are you seeing the narrative here? Sales for a lot of things are down. Layoffs continue to rise. We're seeing companies that have had multiple mass layoffs just this year. Here's another one, theeconomiccollapse.com. The most ominous thing that a president of the United States has said in my entire lifetime. You get a few minutes, check out the article, but Trump talked about when he was running in the election, he was talking about ending the war in Ukraine. Now he thinks that Ukraine is in a position to fight and win all of Ukraine back and then some. And then some. He says, we will continue to supply weapons to NATO. Good luck to all. Good luck to both sides. That's not good. This now opens the door for a world war, bringing, sucking America into this thing over there. And this means that's Russia, China, with Ukraine. What are your thoughts on this? I'm not going to sit here and get political, but I'm completely against war. And I totally disagree with this administration, with this president on this. This war should have ended a long time ago, but we continue to finance it. Now we're selling weapons to NATO and making money off of this and extending this and extending the loss of life in this war. And this is going to be, again, very, very good for gold, very, very good for silver, because when you have war, when you have chaos, when you have economic uncertainty, political uncertainty, geopolitical uncertainty, inflation, debt, deficits, all of this is just going to feed into gold and silver. And this is why I truly believe this is just the beginning of the gold rush, of the silver rush. Could be completely wrong. I'm not sitting here giving anybody financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial planner. I'm a guy with a camera and a microphone sharing with you what I'm doing. And if you need help, a lot of people still, how do I do this? What do I buy? Go to my link down below, SD Bullion. Go get yourself an ounce of silver, an ounce of gold. Get some rounds, get some coins. If you have questions, you can call SD Bullion. Tell them Jeremiah recommended them. And I think that you'll be very, very happy that you have some of this stuff. And I think you'll be able to sleep a lot better at night. And for the people out there that can't afford to do this, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I was warning people 8 years ago to start buying this stuff when it was absolutely on sale. And I hate to say this, it's still on sale. It's still on sale because I think in our lifetime, we're going to see numbers we never thought humanly possible with the metals. And as the dollar dies, gold is going to take its crown back. It is going to be the world's reserve currency. It is God's money. It is real money. And for the people out there that think that they don't need it because it's not going to help them, it's not going to be worth anything, again, bad strategy. You will be proven wrong yet again. You do not want to be going into the greatest financial crisis. You do not want to be going into a Great Depression with no money. You do not want to do this. You do not want to be going into this without food, without water, without a way to protect yourself physically and financially and spiritually. Be walking close to God. I know a lot of people out there resent this now because they went out and bought toys and bought boats and they bought houses they really couldn't afford and they bought cars and they bought all these things, but they didn't buy an ounce of gold, they didn't buy an ounce of silver. And this stuff is going to come back to be one of the most important assets you can humanly have. I hope I'm wrong. I would much rather see gold at $1,500, $1,200 and the world at peace and the economy roaring. If you think the economy is going to be roaring, if you think the dollar is going to be doing wonderful, if you think the financial system is in good health, keep doing what you're doing. You probably don't need to be buying gold and silver. If you think the opposite, you probably need to be buying gold and silver. 1 in 5 Americans, Pew Research Center says this, 1 in 5 Americans now regularly get news on TikTok. That is up sharply from 2020. Maybe this is why so many people have no idea what's going on, because they get their news on TikTok. Maybe this is why people have the attention span of a fly. Maybe this is why people are not prepared for what's coming, because they get their news on TikTok. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. You know people like this that get their news on TikTok? Unbelievable. Here's another one. Another reason why we probably should be getting out of the system, why we should own some gold and silver. This on Hal Turner Radio Show.com. Fiber optics cut takes out 911 in Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana. Statewide outage in Mississippi, completely down, and it affected many areas in Alabama, Louisiana. How did this happen? Who did it? Why did they do it? How quickly the system can be shut off, turned off. I mean, how about the underwater cables in the ocean that have been spliced in many, many parts of the ocean, affecting many countries, and now fiber optics cut, taking out Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana. Could you imagine one day you wake up and you can't get online? You can't access your bank account. You can't access your investments. You can't get money out of the bank, because they're going to say, we're sorry, fiber optics have been cut, the cable's been cut, we have no internet, so you can't access anything. So important, ladies and gentlemen, to have cash out of the bank, some gold and silver out of the bank, food, water, etc. I cannot express this enough. It is so imperative. There has never been a time where it has been more important to have some gold, some silver, and cash outside of the bank. Whatever you do, do not store this stuff in a safe deposit box in the bank. Very, very dangerous. The bank closes, the systems go down. You're not getting your gold, your silver, or your cash. So these are all reasons. All these articles pertain to why we should be getting out of the system, why we should all have some gold, silver, and cash, especially gold and silver. And yes, it's much more expensive than it was from the beginning of the year, much more expensive than a year ago, much more expensive than from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Yes, you're now going to have to buy this stuff at all-time highs. And it's okay, because it's going to keep going to all-time new highs. So if you buy at the all-time high today, next week it's probably going to be at another all-time new high. And next week, and next week, and next week, another all-time new high. This is where we're at now. The days of $800 gold and $8 silver have long passed us. There's no going back. I don't think we're ever going to go back and see those type of numbers again. So if you want it, you're going to have to pay up. If you don't, then you have what you have. But I think we're going to wake up one day, and what you have is what you have. And if you don't hold it, you don't own it. The economy, ladies and gentlemen, let me be very, very frank with you. The economy is collapsing. Bottom line. The debts are not being repaid. The deficits are expanding. Another reason why I believe, and the BRICS nations, multiple reasons why I think the dollar is in big trouble and why it's going to take more dollars to buy gold and silver. And it's going to get more expensive. The premiums will rise because once you see institutional money and you see more of these billionaires coming out, like Ray Dalio and a handful of others, telling people that, hey, maybe you should own some of this stuff, and maybe more than 20%. And once we begin to see fear and panic in the markets, there's only one place to run to, and that's going to be gold and silver. And what do you think is going to happen to the inventories? What do you think is going to happen to the premiums? This stuff is cheap, not financial advice. This is my opinion only. You have the right to have your opinion. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me ask all of you this. Please comment down below. I'm curious. Where do you think gold and silver will be next summer? Let's just say by July. Where do you think gold and silver will be? Will it be more than it is today? What's your number? Will it be 4,000, 5,000, 6,000? I think it's hard to say, because if something breaks loose, if a black swan event takes place, there's no telling how high gold and silver will go. If there is so much fear, something causes major fear and panic, you're going to see people rushing to the exits out of the stock market, out of the bond market. And where are they going? They're going into gold. And if they can't get gold, they're going to get silver. I'm going to finish with this last article. Very, very disturbing. Florida teen reported shot, kidnapped, may have been wearing a red and white hat. You know whose hat that is. Marion County, North Central Florida, 17-year-old Caden Spite, I believe that's how you spell his last name, Spite, allegedly wearing a red and white hat, political hat. He went missing yesterday. Reportedly shot and abducted by 4 unknown males. Threw him into a white van, apparently. Apparently, he got a message out. I think it was maybe a text message to his family. They're saying this has hallmarks of a cartel-style kidnapping. This is very, very disturbing. That if this is true, and this is all alleged right now, but this kid is missing and allegedly wearing a political red and white hat, saying that he had been shot and abducted. Has not been found yet. At least maybe when this video airs today, he will have been found. I don't know. This could all be theatrics. I don't know. But if this is true, this is a big problem, a big concern for every American. Because if you now have cartels committing these type of acts on American soil, very bad. Very, very bad. And you all need to be very, very careful out there. Careful if you're wearing a t-shirt, a hat, if you say something, maybe if you're posting stuff on social media, you got to be careful. Be careful. Exercise situational awareness at all times. We're living in a whole different world now. We ain't in Kansas anymore. That is for sure. Very, very disturbing. But I hope this clarified some reasons of why I think everybody should own some gold and silver. And look, you can buy it wherever you want to buy it from. I just think that it's really important to own this stuff because I see nothing but trouble coming to the United States. And for me, making the move to Alabama now, it just solidifies that for me, it was the right thing to do. If you didn't see yesterday's video, please check it out. We were at my buddy's ranch out here in Southern California. Very informative, very good video. and I think you might get something out of it, so check it out. But I'm going to leave it there today. God bless every one of you. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. Be careful out there. Be praying for this country. Be praying for this administration. We do not ever want to see any administration fail, whether we agree what they're doing or not. If they fail, America fails. We do not want to see that happen. We want prosperity. We want peace. We need to be praying for this country and for the leadership of this country. But maybe this country is going to be judged. I don't know. Prepare for everything, ladies and gentlemen. Take care.